Hello, friends. This Jim Frimpson podcast, Awakening. The topic of our podcast is awakening and awareness. Now that the country is going through a whole lot, I think 2 days, I spoke about if you don't have papers in this country, stay away from public gatherings. The reasons why I came up with that is that ICE doesn't now report to anybody. They don't call cities authorities or state authorities anymore. They just come in. If they know that they can get what they are looking for, they will just come in and then strike. Come and then, you know, arrest whoever they want to arrest. So if I were you, I will stop going to public gatherings, mostly funerals and then, parties and places that, is vulnerable. So try much as possible to pay attention to this. This is not a joke. It's not a joke at all. And then if you live in the country, let's say by mistake you came and then visit, and for certain reason you couldn't go, or you've been here for a long time, but you have issues with your documents and all sort of things, it's very important for you to pay attention to your surroundings. It's very, very important. You don't want to put yourself in certain troubles before even you realize you made a mistake. And then those who, drive trucks, if you drive trucks and then you don't have documents, definitely you don't have documents, avoid border cities like close to Mexico border, Canada border, and also all those places. I know a lot of Africans or minorities doesn't pay attention to national news, which I don't, which I understand, because majority focus their mind on their local news and all sort of things. So most people doesn't watch the news, and because of that, a lot of people doesn't know what is going on in the country. So it's very, very, very important as minority to pay attention to what is going on. You can subscribe to news channel, or you can subscribe so that you receive some text messages for immediate, urgent, breaking news and all sort of things, so that you are aware of what is going on. I'm going to talk about last time. I keep on stressing on buying local, supporting local businesses. I think the time has come for minorities to embrace your culture, to make sure that you participate in your local businesses. You try to support your local businesses so that you don't fall behind. We've been behind for so many years. I keep on saying this. Last time I was talking about this, and then I feel like I have to keep on repeating this because one time, if I talk about something one time, I don't think it's going to sink in. It's very important for me to stress on it, to let people know that it's very, very important for us to do what? Participate, to support local businesses. Buy local, okay? It doesn't matter what kind of color you are, either black, blue, green, yellow, peach, or whatever it is, or white. Just focus your mind to buy, support your local businesses. It's very, very important. It's very, 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 very important for you to support your local businesses. You see, one guy, his name is Frank, sent me a message, wanted to find out with where, according to him, he wanted to find out what we saw on national television 3 days ago concerning Zelensky and then Donald Trump. Is that going to happen if any African leader show up in the United States? I don't, Frank, I want you to know that I'm not in the mind of Donald Trump. But one thing that I support and then I want each and every one. If you live in Africa, you live in the United States, you live in one thing that you have to pay attention, and all of us should pay attention, is to make sure that we work to support our own industry. You work to support your industry. If you live in Africa, you live in Caribbean, you live in Asia, you live in everywhere, try to pay attention to your local companies. Support your local companies. Buy made in your country product. That is one thing that can help. Okay, that is one thing. That's why I keep on saying that us minorities in the United States, we love this country. We work, we pay taxes, we involve in so many things. But one thing that is, missing in our community is, one, we don't support our local businesses. We don't help each other grow. That is our pitfalls. That is our problem. So it is very, very important. If I were you, let us all start thinking about how we can support local businesses. Buying from these big companies, they tend to forget that these people, these big corporations, CEOs, they tend to forget that it is you, your money, your small dimes, dollars, thousands of dollars, or any amount that you use make them rich. They tend to forget about it. Meanwhile, you can spend this same money in your community to build your community, to build your economy, to help you grow. And then let us stop embracing some cultures that is not actually ours. We have to embrace our local traditions. We have to embrace our cultures. We have to embrace the way we do things. And then we need to refrain from not helping each other. When we see someone, in trouble, then it seems like everybody is excited and then try to talk about it and all sort of things. We need to stop that. And let me go back to Fran's question. Franz wanted to find out how minorities can, we can develop ourselves. Developing ourselves is something, or developing, if you, let's say maybe you are here, your parents, some of you, I don't know who this video will land on your page, but if you relate to any government or any authority or anybody in Africa, or even here, and you feel like you want to know how, or you have some advice, mostly those from third world countries, have advice for your leaders, or maybe your parents, or who has some kind of position. There are some few things. Developing a country is not easy. It's a very, 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 very complex strategy that any government has to apply, which we know Western countries have adopted all these strategies. Only third world countries are still struggling. So there are some few things that I'm going to mention. I'm not going to go into details. If you want to read about it, you can, take time to read about it. Okay, that's why we meet, we talk, and then, empower ourselves for us to do our own research, just to make sure that we understand exactly what we want to do. So if a country, concerning your question, my research and then my understanding is that for a country to survive, there are so many implementation that the leadership has to put in place to help the country. Number one, investing in education. You see, United States is so powerful because of its education. Everybody outside, everybody, outside the United States want to come here and get the best education they can. You know, China succeeded by sending the best students to the United States to come and study the way United States does things and then send their technology back home. So if a country, I'm not just trying to say that they should send people from Africa to here, but what I'm saying is that for a country to be successful, you have to invest in really, really good education system because well-educated workforce does a lot. They make right decision. They do things to help the country. So it is very, very, very important to uh, make sure that the country, whoever your parents are, or maybe if you have any ideas, you make sure that your country is, I mean, is investing in education. You see, a well educated workforce is crucial for innovation and an economic growth. So it's very, very important. Education. That's why Africa, we have to refrain from, mostly West Africa, we have to refrain from this West African education system. We have to create, each country has to create their own education system that can help them adopt this modern technology, not to depend on West African Examination Council and all these things going on. And then another thing that I do believe a country can um, be successful, can develop is promoting entrepreneurship. You see, entrepreneurship is one of the things. Look, sometimes we think a country, I mean, if you're listening to me or if you want to watch the video, just when you receive the video, pay attention to it and then do your own research. A country uh, would succeed, or United States is succeeding, any other advanced country are succeeding because of entrepreneurship. Countries doesn't open factories themselves. They encourage entrepreneurs to open businesses so that they can hire people. And that helps a lot. So your family can go ahead and then encourage entrepreneurship in your country. That is the most crucial thing because even if the people in the country are okay, they are working, they can find a job and they are self-sufficient, your government will stay forever. Nobody will cry unto you. Nobody will fight you. Nobody will do anything because the economy is good. The economy is growing. So who cares about what parliamentarian doing? Parliamentarian, you make money and then do what? Do whatever you want to do. No, but that's why in the United States, if you look, someone will be in power, will be a senator or house for almost about all their life because people are sufficient. People are working. They make their money. They don't care about those politicians, And then the politicians also are aware that those people doesn't care about them. They elected them to go there, So if your parent out there is maybe parliamentarian or anybody and you want to know, you can just address this to them. And then infrastructure is very, 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 very good. Developing in infrastructure, building roads, bridges, and broadband internet networks and all sort of things. These are some of the things. Because look, why China is succeeding, why China is so powerful. If you go to China right now, look at roads, look at transportation system. It's so easy to move from one point to another. So let's assume you live in maybe a country, let's say you live in Ghana, and then you manufacture your product in Tamale, northern part of the country, and then you want to transport your product from Tamale to Accra to ship it, right? Because the road system is very, very good. It's easy to just transport this product within 24 hours. You don't need to wait. You don't need to. So, road building infrastructure is one of the things that helps a lot, a lot. You see, so to me, you know, I'm not a politician because of your question why I'm coming out with all these. And then another thing is stable governance. If like if the government would set up some kind of institution such a way that can make sure that no coup, no anything will happen, because building and maintaining stable governance is one of the best you can have in your country if you want your country. Even if you have stable government, investors are happy to come into the country. Investors can come to invest in the country because they know definitely that you know uh, the government is what is stable. No one is, if I'm coming to invest millions of dollars in your country, I want to make sure that the this thing the system is stable. I don't want to come and throw my money in your system and tomorrow there is a coup d'etat, there is this, and then all sort of things. So it is very, very important to pay attention to that. And then healthcare is one of the things that build a country, because healthy people, make good decision. If you know that you are visiting a country and you know definitely that even if you are sick, you can get the best healthcare, you don't really care. You can. Sometimes it's so sad that some leaders in Africa will borrow money from outside, take it to the country, and then just spend it to themselves. And when they are sick, they travel back to other countries to go and use the money they borrowed to take care of themselves. It's very, very, very bad. So it is very, very, very thing to consider. You see, a healthy population is more productive, providing access to healthcare service improve overall well-being of the population. So it's very, very, very important. It's very, very important. Healthcare is one of the things that Africans we don't pay attention to, because if your population is healthy, to be honest with you, everything will work better for the country. And then one thing that I remember one time, one guy went to one of the African countries, and then I was talking, we had a meeting, and then he was talking how he struggled to get licenses to start business in the country. It seems like Africans or minority or third world countries, we don't open up for business. We don't open up for investors to come into our country. We need money, but still, we try to impede. We don't want people to, come and invest in our country. So the best thing that any country, if you're listening to me and then you feel like, hey, you believe you have a parent, you have an uncle, you have somebody who is, in a government, and then you want to talk to. I know they know what they are doing. Sometimes African leaders don't take advice, but my thing is try to encourage them to help, to encourage foreign investment. Foreign investment is very, very important. You invite foreigners to come and invest. You set up rules, you know, pay, you set up payroll such a way that something that can be more sufficient for the people working for those companies to survive, So investing in um, foreign investment, inviting them to come and invest is one of the things that is very, very, very uh, good. And then promoting development all the time, building homes and then building things that will help the country. Well, look at Dubai. Dubai invests a lot, a lot, a lot in their system. So if nobody can, regard Dubai as a developing country. No, Dubai is now a developed country. People go there, they have all the infrastructures, they have everything that people need. So another thing that I do believe is very, very important is research. Research. Do we research? I mean, I lived in Ghana after a certain years before I traveled, and I never saw University of Ghana, Legon, or maybe University of Science and Technology, or any of the universities doing any research. They don't. They don't pay attention to any. I don't know if they do it. I don't know, but research is one of the things that you have to research about things going on. It is important to invest in research and develop in it is very important. It is very important to invest in research and development, drive innovation, which is crucial for staying competitive globally. So if we don't research, how can we compete with other countries? If we don't, how can we compete with other countries? It seems like Africans are just sleeping. We don't know what is going on. We don't know. We sit down, get money, go and then borrow money and then come and use it to pay ourselves and then sleep. We don't do research, we don't develop, we don't do anything. It's very, very important. Frank, if you do believe you have a family who is in any government, just talk to him. I do believe they know. If you tell them right down, they will tell them that, they will tell you they know. But if you insist, it's going to be very, very, very important. And then one thing that many Africans, that's what I keep on saying. Even here in the United States, we don't support each other. We don't trade among ourselves. The same situation we have back home is what we are facing here. Our leaders back home doesn't actually support any trade among ourselves. We don't. By promoting entrepreneurship and then promoting trade, international trade, is one of the best things you can have for your country. You see, during the COVID time, let me tell you something. During the COVID time was when I realized that United States supplied China with soybeans. I didn't know. I had no idea. United States farmers supply China and other countries a lot of food. And I wasn't really aware until I found out this. So what are African countries doing? We have very good land. We have, you see, we have natural resources in the continent. So, Frank, if you are listening to me, talk to your parents, talk to your family for them to research, to invite or to try to invest in international trade, just to make sure that we promote trade among ourselves. Even if Western countries don't want to accept us. Look, we have over 50 countries in Africa. 50 countries. Even if your country is able to tap into just only 5 countries who are doing business with your population, do you know how much money you will make? You will make. If, let's assume, Western countries don't want you to be part of world trade or something like that, and then you yourself, as an African leaders, sit down and then do what? Trade among yourself. Ghana trading with Nigeria, Nigeria trading with Ghana, Ghana trading with Rwanda, Rwanda trading, exchange. It might not be a lot of money, but once we can buy made in African products, Rwanda might have some kind of technology or some kind of product that Ghanaians might need. Ghana might have some products that maybe Burkina Faso or Nigeria or Cote d'Ivoire or Kenya, South Africa, somebody might, these are some of the things that can build us, can build ourselves. So it's very, very important. I don't think it is hard, it's only the reasons why we are not successful is we depend on handouts. People giving us every year, giving us billions of dollars for us to sustain our economy, and then that's it. We don't think about developing ourselves. We don't think about helping our countries. We don't think about doing anything which will help us grow. But if you depend on somebody all the time, if you rely on somebody for food, you rely on somebody for everything, one day that a person will decide not to help you anymore, then you are doomed. You are doomed. Look at this right now that US aid. They are not sending drugs to Africa anymore. Some countries are suffering. Those HIV patients, our families back home who have HIV virus, how are they getting their distant lifeline medication? They are not, right? Because we don't do anything. We rely on America for everything, which of course, if the United States is helping, we love it. But what you have to know is that you don't want to depend on somebody all the time. United States has helped for so many years. Sometimes even what Donald Trump is doing, sometimes I like it because it opens people's eyes for them to say, hey, we have to do something for ourselves. You might not think that maybe he is helping other people. If you come and then go and then beg for food, and then the person said, no, I'm not giving you food, I've given you too much, and then you have to just feed yourself, and you are hungry, what will you do? You will force to come out with any means, any strategy to find food for yourself and your family. So sometimes what this leadership is doing, sometimes they are doing it aggressively, but I do believe economically it helps for people, for countries to start helping themselves. That is what it's supposed to be. Like Africans, we depend on Western countries. We plan our economy based on loans we are getting. We have natural resources. We have almost everything on this planet. But still, we cannot do what? We cannot use it to do anything. God gave us these natural resources for us to study, to research, and then reproduce it. To make a good use for ourselves. But we don't. We don't know how to produce anything. It's so sad that over 50 countries in Africa, none of them even develop anything, any tangible thing that anybody can rely on globally. Now, the only thing that we depend on is our natural resources, which if you have unprocessed product, it's nothing. If you have product underground, you have natural resources underground and you don't know how to use it, it's nothing. So We have universities, we have institutions. The best thing that we have to do is to make sure that we research, we stop depending on other countries for help. This now that countries are not, United States is not giving aid. If I were so many countries, what I would do is you will step up, do your own research, try to find out how you can get vaccines for your people. You see, look, if you offer money for scientists to come to your country to help your universities, I do believe a lot of them will come. Some of them are retired. They have the idea. They have the technology. Even sometimes what you do is you can give free um, incentives for your citizens who are outside to come, who have some kind of technology background, to come and then teach in your country, to share ideas. Just only every year you have 90 days for those people to come. You provide free accommodation for them to come and then help teach your your citizen how to do things. I think it's something that will help a lot. So addressing social issues too is one of the best thing that any country can do to develop. In the United States, one thing that I can never ever take away, I know definitely this country has opened my mind to see, or any other country, is freedom of speech. Everybody is equal. It doesn't matter who you are. You have thousands or millions of dollars. Yeah, you have your money, provided you are not taking care of me, paying my rent. I don't care about you. I don't care about the kind of car you use. I don't care about the kind of house you have. I don't care about anything. Everybody is equal in the sense of certain situations. So it is very, very important if we can look at this point to use it to guide ourselves. I do believe it will help. Not like getting money from somewhere, go and borrow money. We borrow in this world. What I know, I'm not an economist, but what I know is you borrow money to do business, make money, and then go and pay. Use the money you use to do the business, get profit, and then go and pay the person back. But as minorities or our third world countries, we borrow the money and then share it. Politicians share the money among themselves, which is one of the things that is so pathetic and it's bad. We need to change. If we don't, we are going to be like this. And a time might come that minorities, Western countries will come again to force us to fight to get our natural resources for free. Because what I have realized, what we notice in the United States between Zelensky and then our president, it tells that if you live in Africa and you have minerals, you have natural resources, and something serious happened to you, you are not getting anything for free. So we have to open our eyes. I do believe these are some of the things, Frank. Your question, I don't know if I did answer these questions, but that is what I believe. I'm not in any government. I'm not a politician. This is my idea that maybe might help. I don't know. So it's very, very important. It's so important for us as a minorities to help each other. Let us embrace our culture. It is sometimes so sad that some people live in the United States, their children even doesn't speak their own language. They don't understand it. They don't know their culture. They haven't been to their country. What kind of human being are you? It is something that is so sad. So let us all start thinking otherwise. Let us start thinking about how we can help each other. In the United States, I think right now that immigration system has changed. We do want to encourage lawyers or those immigration attorneys. If you have any information, even you don't need to come over, we can call you over the phone and then talk to you for you to share. If you have any advice for people, we want you to come and then talk to them. If you have a business and you want people to know about your business too, it's very, very important for you to go ahead and then let us know. We can call and talk to you over the phone just to get more information about what you want to do.